Now I will explain how to install MySQL on Windows 10. Follow the steps with me. In this course, we will discuss how to create database and how to deal with it, and also how to create tables inside the database, how to retrieve data from the tables, how to insert data into the tables, how to update data inside the tables, how to delete and drop tables from the database. Before we learn how to create database, let's find out what the database contains. Generally, database is made of group of tables are linked together for easy access to information. For example, we have here database work schedule contains of group of tables like bonus system, customers, employee, and order items, and products, and student grade, and student personal information, and students. Today we will discuss how to create database. First, click on this button, and then name your database, and then click on apply. Finish. Refresh your schemas. You see now your new database. I'm gonna show you how to retrieve all information from a table like customer or employee. Let's now write our query. Select all from customers, semicolon, and execute it. You see now all information, or employee table, execute it. You see now age and salary and birth date and point and second name and first name and the employee ID. If you want to retrieve specific information from any table, you should add where clause. Let's now write a query to understand it. Select all from employee where employee ID equal 6 or 5, and put semicolon, execute it. You see now the result. You can recover a specific column from any table. For instance, if you want to retrieve first name and last name and pointers from customer table, what query should we write? We should write select first name, last name, pointers from customers. Don't forget semicolon. Execute it. You see now the result, first name here and last name and pointers, and affected correctly here below. There are many characteristics in SQL language, like SQL language is not sensitive. You can write your query in upper cases or lower cases, like that. If you write upper cases here, you will get the same result. Semicolon should separate between two queries. If you forget semicolon and execute it, will not be affected correctly below. Then, if you write semicolon between two queries and execute it, will be affected correctly below. You can write your query in single line like that, or you can write your query in different line like that and execute it. In two cases, whether you write your query in single line or different lines, you will get the same result. If you want to recover total degrees and general appreciation from a student grades table with one condition, that student ID equal 9, what query should we write? We will write select total degrees and general appreciation from student grades table where student ID equal 9, and semicolon, execute it. You will see the result here and affected correctly below. To select first name and second name and pointers from employee table, select first name, second name, pointers from employee where employee ID equal 4. Write semicolon and execute it. We see the result here and affected correctly. What happens if you want to change the name of any column? For example, you want to change the name of a first name into first and second name into second. Try to execute it. We see now the result changed into the first and second correctly. I'm gonna show you now how to retrieve specific columns from any table with more than one condition. Let's now write our query. Select first name second name points from employee table where employee ID more than 7 and pointers more than 2000 semicolon and execute it. You see now the result point is more than 2000 and ID more than 7. If you write and the two conditions must be achieved, or you can write or here and try to execute it, only one condition from two conditions will be met. From student personal information table, what happens if you want to know all students residing in Nasr City and Zamalek? What query should we write? We will write select all from student personal for information table where address in two brackets any word must come between two brackets. We will write here Nasr City and Zamalek. Close the bracket and semicolon, execute it. You see the result here now. Your manager wants to know all employees that take salary between 9,000 to 20,000. What query should we write? We will write select all from employee table from where salary 9,000 and 20,000, closing entry and the semicolon here, execute it. Not the problem. Come between, execute it. You see now the result. All employees that take salary between 9,000 and 20,000 and their name. What happens if you want to retrieve a specific column from employee table? Select first name, second name from employee table where salary between 10,000 and 12,000. Execute it. We will write in different lines. Execute it. The name first name Yara and second name Ali. From customers table, what happens if we want to know all students that their first name is starting with F character? What query should we write? We will write here select all from customers table where first name like F character percent here must come after F character and write semicolon and execute it. You see now all first name that's starting with F character. If you want also to retrieve all students that their last name ending with D character, we will write here select all from customers table where last name like two brackets and percentage means here any number of characters and the D comes in the last and write semicolon, execute it. You see here all last name ending with D character. From customer table, if you want to retrieve or recover a specific column, what query should we write? Select customer ID, first name, last name, from customers table where last name like two brackets a character come in the middle of the word. Execute it. Let's write it in different lines. Execute it. You see now all last name a characters comes in the middle of the word. What happens if you add here after first name here not like and execute it, try to execute it. You don't see any F characters here in the first name column. If you want to organize your data inside any table according to specific order, we have two ways. The first way is descending. Descending organize your data from the highest values to lowest values, and ascending order from the lowest values to highest values. Write it in your note, and we will now write our query. For example, if you look at product table here at total price column, we have all total price for the product. Write your query to select all from products table where total price more than 140 order by total price less than 200 according to descending order, and semicolon. Try to execute this query. Sorry, you should write here as execute it. You see now the result ordered from the highest values to the lowest values. And if you write ascending and execute it, you see now from the lowest values to the highest value. What happens if you want to limit your record? Let's now solve this exercise. Identify the highest three products according to their prices from the highest to the lowest values. Let's now write our query. Select all from products, order by total price according to descending order, and limit 3. Write semicolon and execute it. You see now the highest 3 products according to their prices. Now solve some exercises. Here your manager wants to know the number of customer ID in customer table with or without data replication. What query should we write? Select count customer ID from customer table, semicolon. Try to execute this query. We have 17 customer ID in customer table. If you want to know the number of customer ID in customers table without data replication only, just you will add here distinct word. Another exercise, your manager wants to know the highest points, the lowest points, average points, total of points from employee table. Let's now write our query. Select max points from employee table. Execute it. You see now the maximum points. If you want to know minimum point, execute it. This is the minimum point. Average point, this is the average point. Sum of point, execute it. You see now the total of points here and affected correctly all here. What happens if you want to retrieve a specific column from any table? For example, if you want to retrieve a specific column cheaper ID from order items table without any data replication like 6 and here 6 and here 6, without data redundancy or data replication, select distinction. ID from order items semicolon and execute it. You see now all values without any data replication. From order items table, write a query to retrieve all comments that is null and also that is not null. Let's now write our query. Select all from order items table where comments is null, semicolon, and execute it. That is comments that is null, and if you write here not, execute it, you see now all comments that is not null. Now we will discuss REGEXP, stands for regular expression, and here we have many symbols. The first symbols this means start with. Now we will write a query to discuss these symbols. Select all from customers where first name REGEXP, two bracket, any words or date must come between two brackets, and M character, semicolon, execute it. You see now all first name that has M character. If you want to know, starting with M character here, execute it. Just two names starting with M character. If you want to know all names, first names that ending with D character, execute it. We have four names here ending with D character. We will use vertical bar M or S or D. Execute it. You see now all first name had D characters and C and M character. Now we will discuss this symbol. For example, in customer table we have last name column. Before A character we should either have S or R character. Let's now write our query. Select all from customers where last name REGEXP, two brackets, E. Before E we have S and R. S and R. Semicolon and execute it. You see now the result. Before E we have S and before E we have R character. Also after E character we have here E, R and D. Execute it. You see now after E we have R, we have D character. In this tutorial we will explain how to link tables together and why are tables linked to each other. Every table, like customer and employee and order items, has primary key. And if you want to link tables with each other like that, for example, customers table has primary key like customer ID. If you click on this button, you will see customer ID here is the primary key for customer table. The primary key is the most important item in the table. The primary key for customer table is customer ID, and the primary key for order items table is order ID, and the primary key of employee table is employee ID, and the primary key for student grade is number of sitting column here. And here every table has primary key. If you want to link tables with each other, you will move customer ID from the table to another table like order items to become foreign key. This is called foreign key in case you move the primary key to another table. Another example, you see now the primary key of order items table is order ID, we move this column order ID from this table to product table to become foreign key. In this method, you can join tables with each other. You must move the primary key or the primary column to another table to join tables with each other. Let's now write our query. Select all from customers. We will use here join clause. Join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related columns between them. Join order items. We will use on clause rather than where clause. Customers point customer ID equal order items point customer ID and execute it. You see now two tables, customer table and order items tables. The details of customer and first name, last name, birth date, city, points, all of details of two tables. Okay, here before point the name of table, after point the name of column. I'm gonna show you how to retrieve a specific column from two tables or more. What query should we write in this case? For example, select, you will write table name, customers, point, column name, first name, and then last name, and then customers table name, sorry, and last name, and points, customers, points, and shipper ID from order items table from customers join order items table on customers table customer ID equal order items table point customer ID and semicolon. Try to execute it. You see now first name from customer table, last name from customer table, points from customer table, shipper ID from order items table, and affected correctly below. You can join more than two tables with each other. I will write a query to explain this point, like select all from customers join order items on close customers table, customer ID, column, it's primary key, and order items, customer ID, join third table, it's products table, with order ID table, on products table, order ID column equal order items table, order ID semicolon, different lines. Try to execute it. You see now all details about the three tables, customers tables, order items tables, products tables, and affected correctly below. Another example, from customers table, select from customers table here, customers, select first name, and from order items table, select order date, from customers join order items table, on close here, customers, customer ID equal order items table, customers, customer ID semicolon. Try it in different lines. Try to execute it. You see now first name from customers table and order date from order items table. Another way to write this query, you can get rid of join, close, and write like this, and you can get rid of on close and write where close. Try to execute this query. You can get the same result. Another very easy way to write the condition is by using close. We will explain it in this query. Like select from customers table, select first name, and from order items table, select order date, and from products table, select total price. From customers join order items using two brackets customer ID. Join products using order ID. Semicolon, try to execute it. You see now total price from products and order date from order items table and first name from customers table by very easy condition using. It is very easy way to deal with this query. Another query by using a close, like select from customers table, last name, and from order items table select order date, from customers join order items on close customers table customer ID primary key equal order items customer ID semicolon sugar try to execute this query. You see now last name from customers table and shipper ID from order items tables. I'm gonna show you how to insert data into the tables by two methods. The first method is you can write your data inside the table, and the second method is you can write a query to insert data into the tables. I will show you the first method. For example, you can click on products table and add another product here, products, product S, and unit price here 2 and quantity 2 and total price 4 and order ID 75, and then click on apply and then apply, finish. You will see affected correctly here and insert correctly. This is the first method to insert data inside the table. The second method is to insert data into the tables by write a query. For example, you will write insert into table like employee table, values like employee ID number 18, and first name will be Muhammad, second name Kamil, but the name must be between two brackets, and age will be 33, salary will be 21,000, and birth date will be null, or we can write the birth date like 2 bracket 1119 3 1 close and insert at the last point 3 point and close semicolon. Try to execute it, affected correctly. You will see now, refresh and click on employee table. You see now affected correctly here as you write inquiry here, the same data. Sometimes you prefer to write column names when you want to insert specific data into the tables. For example, if you write insert into employee table column like employee ID and first name, second name, age, salary, birth, date, binds. Close and add your values. Like employee ID will be 19 and first name two brackets Sami and second name will be two bracket Ahmed and age 44 and salary 22,000 and birth date will be 979 on one. It must be between two brackets and write the points semicolon. Try to execute this query, effect it correctly, refresh and click on employee table. You will see the result here, affected correctly and added correctly also. I'm gonna show you now how to update or modify data inside the tables. We have two methods. The first method is that you can edit the data within the table itself. The second method is that you can write a query to edit the data in the tables. Now I will discuss the first method. For instance, click on students grade table and modify this row into math 21, history 26, French 34, going 42, geography 18, 33, sport 40 and 214, and then click on apply. Notice here affected correctly. The second method is that you can write a query to edit the data in the tables. For instance, click on employee table here and update employee ID 7, this row, into update name of table employee set name of column first name equal two bracket Mahmoud second name equal Nabil and age equal 32, where employee ID equals 7, employee ID equal 7, semicolon, try to execute it, affected correctly below here, and refresh and click on employee. You see now the new modify affected correctly, 32 Mahmoud Nabil. Now I will discuss how to create tables, but before we learn how to create tables, we must know the structure of the table. Click here, you see the name of table here, and the first column is the primary key, and it considers the most important column in the table. And then first name, last name, birth date, city, points, and data type. Here, the most important data type in MySQL program. The first data type is varchar, stands for variable character. It can hold a variable length string. The ring of characters can be between 0 and 65.535, like this word. Any word you want to write, like Ahmed. And integer is used for storing exact number, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Any number. Float is used for storing approximate value, like 25.01. Approximate values. Decimal is used to store exact numerical values in database. For instance, the decimal data type is used for columns that maintain exact precious money data in accounting system, like LE 20,000. And double is used when you want to achieve high accuracy, like 20,000.25. This is the simple example. Date like is one of the 5 temporal date type provided by MySQL for managing data, like 2020.1. But the date in MySQL must come between two brackets. Time is used for storing the time of a day, like 10. Like 10. Point. Like this. Data time, like this. It consists a combination of a date or time, and year, like 2020. Can be used for storing a year in a 4th digit, like this. Now we will create table. Click on this button and then write the name of table, tasks, and then put your primary key, tasks, task ID, and then title, and then start date, due date. This is the columns, and state. Primary key must be not null. Not null means you can't leave field without value. The value must be exist. Null means you can leave field without value. We will not null. We will see the due date null here. And the first column, the primary key, must be auto increment. What the meaning of auto increment? Auto increment allows a unique number to be generated automatically when a new record is inserted into a table. This is data type. Task ID will be a pair of numbers. You will choose Tigger, and title will be varchar like 200. Start date will be here, date. We will choose here date, and here varchar. And then click on apply and finish. Now you create your table. What happens if you want to delete all that inside the table, but the structure of the table remains the same? Click in bonus system here. You see this row. Click on and write a query. Run Kate table bonus system bonus and then semicolon, try to execute it, and then click here. You see the data inside the table is not exist. You can also delete all record in the tables. Click here, write a query to discuss this point. Drop table like customer or tasks. And write semicolon, try to execute it. You see now tasks delete from here. What happens if you want to delete a specific row from any table like products here? You want to delete this, for example, this row. What query should write? We write here delete from products table where products equal product n. Product n. Don't forget two brackets and semicolon. Try to execute it. Affected correctly below. Let's now click on refresh and click on student. Products. You see now product n removed from the table. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.